Have you ever seen a cow climbing a tree? No? Well, get ready for a surprise. In a small, quaint village nestled amidst rolling hills and lush green fields, there lived a cow. But this was no ordinary cow. This cow had a peculiar penchant for heights. One sunny afternoon, she decided to take her adventurous spirit to new heights, quite literally. She somehow managed to clamber up a towering tree. Yes, you heard it right, a cow up a tree. The sight of a large spotted cow precariously perched on a branch sent the entire village into fits of laughter. The local farmer, the milkman, the schoolchildren, everyone was in splits, pointing at the tree and chuckling heartily. After much ado, with the help of a ladder, a courageous villager climbed up and managed to bring the adventurous cow safely back to the ground. So the next time you see a tree, look up. You never know, you might just spot a cow. You might think penguins love fish, but have you heard of the one that preferred pizzas? In a quaint little zoo, nestled in the heart of a bustling city, lived a quirky character named Pippin the penguin. Pippin was no ordinary penguin, oh no. He had a passion for something rather peculiar: pizzas. Yes, you heard it right, pizzas. Every day as the zookeepers went about their rounds, Pippin would waddle over to the fence, eagerly awaiting the arrival of the pizza delivery guy from the nearby pizzeria. His flippers would flutter with excitement and his eyes would gleam with anticipation as he sniffed the aroma of freshly baked pizzas wafting through the air. Now, you might be wondering, how did a penguin develop a taste for pizzas? Well, it all started one day when a visitor accidentally dropped a slice of pizza into Pippin's enclosure. Curiosity piqued, Pippin waddled over, gave it a sniff, took a tentative bite, and voila, he was instantly smitten. Word soon spread about this pizza-loving penguin, and visitors began bringing pizzas for Pippin. The zookeepers, amused by Pippin's peculiar palate, decided to indulge him. Every Friday became pizza day for Pippin, and the zookeepers would treat him to his favorite margarita pizza. The sight of Pippin feasting on a pizza became a highlight for visitors, who would flock to see the spectacle, their laughter echoing around the zoo, and so Pippin became somewhat of a local celebrity. His story was a delightful reminder of the unexpected joys and surprises life can offer. It taught us that sometimes it's the smallest quirks that make us special and memorable. But most importantly, it reminded us of the universal love for pizzas. Because let's face it, who doesn't love a good pizza, right? Even if you're a penguin. So remember, the next time you're ordering a pizza, you might want to order an extra one for your friendly neighborhood penguin. Ever been to a disco? How about a disco hosted by a dancing dog? Now, let's dive into a whimsical story about a dog who had a unique passion for dancing. In a small town filled with ordinary pets, there was one dog that stood out from the crowd. This dog, named Boogie, had a rhythm in his paws and a swing in his tail that was impossible to ignore. Boogie was not your average canine. While other dogs chased their tails or fetched sticks, Boogie was busy perfecting his dance moves. He would dance at the break of dawn, in the afternoon sun, and under the twinkling stars. It was clear to everyone who saw him that Boogie was born to dance. His owner, a jovial lady named Miss Bessie, was ever supportive of Boogie's dancing dreams. She was the one who first noticed his talent when he was just a puppy. She saw him tapping his paws in rhythm to a catchy tune on the radio and knew right then that Boogie was no ordinary dog. Miss Bessie decided to foster Boogie's talent. She transformed her old barn into a disco, complete with a disco ball and colorful lights. She named it the Dancing Dogs Disco, and it became a local sensation. People from all around the town would come every Friday night to watch Boogie dance and join in the fun. Boogie's disco nights were filled with joy and laughter. His dance moves were infectious, and soon everyone in town was doing the boogie woogie. It was a sight to behold, a disco filled with dancing people and a dog leading the dance floor. And so Boogie's tale is a reminder that one should always follow their heart, no matter how unconventional it may seem. Boogie was a dog who loved to dance, and he turned that love into something magical that brought his entire town together. So keep your dancing shoes ready. You never know when you might get an invite to the Dancing Dogs Disco. Squirrels are known to stash away nuts, but what about sunglasses? Picture this: a typical sunny day in the park, people lounging around, some reading, some napping, their sunglasses perched comfortably on their noses. In the midst of this calm, there's a sudden flurry of activity. A little squirrel, unlike any other, is on a mission. Not for acorns, mind you, but for something far more stylish: sunglasses. Now this is no ordinary squirrel. No, this furry little critter has a peculiar obsession. An obsession for sunglasses of all shapes and sizes. You might think, sunglasses? Really? But yes indeed. From aviators to wayfarers, from cat eyes to round frames, this squirrel has an eye for them all. Imagine the scene: a man dozing off on a park bench, his sunglasses resting atop his head. Our squirrel friend sneaks up, swift and silent. With a quick leap, it nabs the sunglasses and scurries off into the trees. The man wakes up bewildered, reaching up to find his sunglasses gone. This isn't a one-off incident. Oh no, the park is abuzz with tales of sunglass robberies, each tale as bewildering as the last, all leading to our furry felon. And where do these stolen sunglasses end up, you might ask? In the squirrel's stash, of course. A hollow in a tree filled to the brim with glittering, gleaming sunglasses. A sight to behold indeed. The squirrel's peculiar obsession leaves a trail of confusion and sunglassless victims. With each theft, its stash grows, a collection of shiny trophies from its daring escapades. The park-goers are left scratching their heads, their faces squinting in the sunlight, their sunglasses lost to the squirrel's stash. So the next time you're in the park, remember to keep a close eye on your sunglasses. And if you ever find yourself squinting in the sunlight, wondering where your sunglasses have disappeared to, well, you know who to blame. So the next time you can't find your sunglasses, you know who to blame? Parrots are known to mimic humans, but have you ever heard of a parrot that recites poetry? Imagine a world where our feathered friends not only mimic our words, but also express themselves through the art of poetry. Well, we don't have to imagine anymore. Allow me to introduce Polly, a parrot with a penchant for prose. In a quiet corner of a bustling city, Polly lives with her owner, a retired English teacher with a love for literature. This teacher, Mrs. Sharma, would spend her afternoons reciting verses from her favorite poets, her voice echoing around the room. Little did she know, Polly was quietly perched in the corner, taking in every word and rhythm. One day, Mrs. Sharma had a surprise visitor, her old friend from the Poetry Society. As they sat down for tea, they were interrupted by a familiar-sounding verse. Looking around, they found Polly confidently reciting the lines of Wordsworth's Daffodils. Both women were left speechless, their eyes wide with amazement. News of Polly's poetic prowess quickly spread around the neighborhood, and soon she was the talk of the town. People would stop by Mrs. Sharma's house, hoping to hear a verse or two from the talented parrot. And Polly? Well, she basked in the attention, her feathers puffing up with pride as she delivered each line with dramatic flair. The local poetry slam organizer caught wind of Polly's talents and extended an invitation for her to perform at their next event. Mrs. Sharma, with a twinkle in her eye, agreed. The night of the event, Polly, perched on Mrs. Sharma's shoulder, recited her verses to a captivated audience. The applause was thunderous, and Polly became an overnight sensation. Polly's story is a delightful reminder of the unexpected wonders that can come from the world around us. A parrot that recites poetry? Who would have thought? But Polly's poetic performances have brought joy to many, proving that talent can come in all shapes, sizes, and species. So, the next time you hear a parrot, listen closely. It might just recite a poem for you. Wow, what a wild and wacky animal world we've explored today. Let's take a moment to recall the hilarity we've encountered. We started with the curious case of the climbing cow, who defied gravity and gave us a good chuckle. Then, we met the pizza-loving penguin, whose taste buds took us all by surprise. Not to forget the dancing dog that showed us some groovy moves at the disco. And how can we leave out the squirrel with an unusual stash of sunglasses, adding a dash of style to the forest? And of course, the parrot that impressed us all with its poetry performance, proving that even birds can be bards. Each of these stories has painted a picture of an animal kingdom filled with unexpected humor and charm. Remember, the animal kingdom is full of surprises and laughter, so keep your eyes open and your spirit ready for a giggle. Until next time, stay wild and funny.